Hi, I'm Chrissy Jones with Oklahoma Homeschool Art. I teach at locations all over the Oklahoma City metro area, and one of my favorite places to be is the Ascend Dance Studio. And I was thinking about you guys the other day, and I thought it'd be fun if I made a project based on ballet. So today we're going to paint with coffee. All you need is a pencil, some paper, maybe out of your printer, and some coffee. And I'll show you how to make coffee paint, and we'll make a ballet shoe. I've also got planned some other projects. We're going to later on make a dancing cow and a Zentangle inspired ballet slipper. So watch for those later on in the month. I hope you enjoyed this project. I'm also starting a brand new series next week based on the book called Paste, Scissors, Crayons, and Pencils. And it's a book about making art from things you probably have around your house already. One of my big goals is to create a couple of series where you don't have to go out and buy anything. Well, enjoy. Find my channel on Facebook and give it a like, and I'll see you all at the art desk. Okay, so we're going to start by making our coffee paint. I just have some plain black coffee, and it's brewed very, very strong so that I'll not get a nice dark color out of it. And I'm just going to use my funnel, and I'm going to pour a little bit in there. And that will be my most dark paint. That's for my shadows. And I want to do something that's a little lighter in this one, so I'm going to add some coffee. And on this one, I'm going to add a little bit of water. Just maybe, half tablespoon. Okay, and then this one I want to be the lightest of all. I'm going to place my coffee. Got a little extra, I think I'll throw that over there. And I'm going to add quite a bit of water, probably a little more than a tablespoon. There. So I've got now my dark, my mid-tone, and my light. So now we're ready to make our ballet shoe. I've got two pencils. One I'm going to use for drawing, and the other is going to be for a paintbrush. I'm going to kind of use it as a paintbrush. Now this one I've just loved, but it accidentally got sharpened, and I need a dull edge for it to work. So I'm just going to kind of press down over here on my scratch paper until the edge becomes dull. And that dull edge will be nice to carry my paint. So hopefully that's going to work, and I'm going to set that aside for now. And now I need to draw my ballet shoe. And when I'm planning a drawing, I usually think about the tippy top. So I'm going to put in what will be the ankle, kind of save space for that at the top. And I think about the tippy bottom. I want to put the bottom of the shoe. So now I've planned out my drawing. Now I'd like to remind you, I'm just using plain paper from the copy machine, pencils, and some coffee. And so hopefully you watched the part on how to make the coffee paint. And so these are hopefully things you have from home. You don't need to go out and buy anything special. Okay, so I've got the top part of the ankle and the bottom part of the point shoe. And now I'm going to kind of put in the foot shape. All right, so we've got our foot shape. And now I want to begin to kind of add the lines. So I'm going to draw a line here that shows the back of the foot. And we'll start to put in the edge of the shoe there. And now the ribbons. I love point shoes. I think they're so beautiful. And part of their beauty, I think, is the wraparounds of the ribbons. So we'll put in a few stripes there. 2 stripes going that way, 1 stripe going horizontal. And then we kind of want to show where it was tied off. And that part can seem a little tricky. And so the way I want to do it is, let's just draw a wavy line and another wavy line and another wavy line. And they're going to have 2 different endpoints. And that gives us that tie off on the shoe. Okay, so now's the fun part. Now we get to begin to play with our coffee paint. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my top jar of pretty dark, strong coffee, and I'm just going to outline it. And the pencil, I'm trying to press down almost not at all. So the pencil's really carrying it with it. Or carrying the coffee, not drawing. So I don't, if I'm pushing down so hard that we're getting graphite on the paper, that's a little harder than I wanted to touch. Okay, so I'm just going to outline the shoe. And I know I probably should have started with the background, but I just can't resist. I love diving into the piece and getting it done. Getting to see kind of what it's going to look like in coffee. So right now I'm not trying to make any particular shades or do any of the shading yet. This is just outlining it for fun. And if it happens to go darker, like that's a great area for it to go a little darker. That's just actually an accident at this point. And remember, I think in my daffodils that I did a few weeks ago, the pencil, there was just a few seconds where the pencil just wasn't doing the job. And you just want to be patient. If it's not letting the coffee ink flow, don't get discouraged. Just keep trying. Because it will. All right, and let's do that ribbon in the back. Okay, see right there, it's just not carrying it like it should. And so I'm not going to give up. I'm just going to, there, I found my edge. That dull edge is the one that's really going to carry it. Okay, so I've got now the shoe has got its outline. And now I'm going to work on the background. And I really just like to finger paint that in using that lightest shade at the bottom that has a lot of water in it. And I like working just back and forth. And if you've done the other coffee painting, like the painting a coffee cup with coffee or the daffodil, you'll know I'll keep saying just enough to moisten it, but not enough. You don't want so much water that the page becomes compromised and could tear. So you're just doing enough to keep things moving along. And because, again, this is just paper I found in the printer. I don't want anyone to go buy anything. You can see it's already starting to kind of buckle. But that's okay. We're having fun making art. This will be the year we were quarantined artwork. And we will display it proudly for our family for years to come, right? And we'll say, oh, we had to use printer paper for our art because we couldn't leave to go get real paper, real art paper. And it will be a badge of honor. So here we go. I'm going to kind of put some back there behind the ribbon. Okay, and that's probably why I should have done the background first. See, it kind of smudged out, but I don't care. I'm stuck in my ways a little. Okay, so I'm going to add the background over here. And I'm going left to right or shoulder to shoulder. I think it's important not to kind of go every direction. But experiment. You might find you like the look of that better. But traditionally good advice is just to go go one direction when you're working on the background. Okay, got that background almost finished. The next thing I want to think about now is a little bit of shading using the dark, the medium, and the light within the shoe to kind of make it look like the shoe, there's light on the shoe and a little bit more of a 3D feel to it. So I'm going to think now about the darkest areas. And I would think about, oh, first I need to probably put that line in, don't I? If the light were hitting the ballerina, kind of a side low light, you would see a dark area here. Where the shoe's a bit turned away. I'm going to add some lines there. And so if it's coming kind of from the front left low and low down, this is also going to be kind of beginning to turn away. So I'm going to darken that a bit. And maybe a bit there. Because I'm thinking about the way the foot is built and then how it's being held within the shoe. So there'd probably be some curvature there. And up in the heel area as it wrinkles down, that would create a bit of a shadow as well. In. And then probably on the ribbon, there'd be a few shadows. All right, I didn't realize my camera had run away from me. And so you missed the point where I put in a little bit of shadow into the ribbon. But hopefully you can pick that up pretty easy, and I'll go ahead and carry on. So I'm kind of adding a little bit of, thoughts about if light were hitting the ribbon, how would it affect the ribbon here? So I'm making what I hope will look like variations in the ribbon as it's turning toward and away from the light. Okay, and let's see, what else do I want to do? I'm going to play with this band here. And I'm just going to, I kind of lightly put in coffee there, and now I'm going to swipe it a bit with my finger. And I want to think now, I think I'll go into the middle one. And think about adding a bit there. And I think I'll swipe that with my finger as well. And I'm thinking about the foot inside the ballet slipper and how it's kind of affecting how the satin, is shaped on the outside. Let's see. So again, I'm using a combination of laying down the coffee paint or ink. I'm really not sure what it's classified as, a stain for sure. And then swiping it with my finger to kind of carry that out a little bit more. right, well, hopefully I've added just a little bit more dimension to the shoe to kind of give an idea of its more 3D nature that I'm hoping. And now, well, let's see. I actually want to put a little bit more thought into the ribbon. Just going to put a little bit more ideas in here. Okay, so now I want to take care of the foot there. And so I'm going to use my lightest light to create a little shadow on the skin there. I don't know if the camera's picking that up. I hope it is. I'm keeping it really light. And definitely around the ribbon. And then a little thought up here to the ankle. Okay, as I'm standing back to look at it, I want to add a few more thoughts, but I don't really want them to be too strong of a notion. So I'm using this lightest, most diluted coffee there. Well, except for I think I want to reinforce the toe. Put a little shadow there. All right. Maybe a little more thought there. So now I'm kind of just going back and taking a look and seeing if I want to make any changes. All right, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to use the pencil to kind of load a little more coffee and sign it there. And hopefully you had a good time making a ballet slipper with me. Next week I'm going to do a Zentangle style ballet shoe. And then hopefully later today I'm going to make a dancing cow. So check in back for that. All right, thanks to my friends at Ascend Studio, and I will see you all later. I came back to play some more, and I guess that's the nature of art, is maybe never being satisfied enough. As I was looking in here, I thought, oh, I want to really do something more with this ribbon. It looked a little barren to me, a little deep in the color there. Oh. Let's see. I hope you enjoyed that and followed along. I'd love to see what you did, so if you post it on your Facebook wall, tag me at Oklahoma Homeschool Art and Piano and tag the Ascend Dance Studio, and then we'll be able to enjoy that art. If you want to see the rest of the series, you can catch it on YouTube, and I'll see you next week for a couple more dance-themed projects.